Please welcome on stage Mr. Keegan Maharaj.
Fire! Fire!
So when I say Ja, you say love. Ja! Ja! Louder, no man. Ja! Ja! Yeah? All right. I'm going to be a bit out of character tonight. I'm going to read. I usually don't read. And I'm not going to be very loud, apart from that little thing I just did there. It's a pleasure to be here. I was at the first ever Synergia, Synergia, I'm not sure. But that was quite a success. Modupe was at it. Kyle was there, and my brother was there as well. So we give thanks, right? The first piece is called It's Like, and it's dedicated to people who don't mean what they say. It's like raindrops. It's like sunshine. It's like sugar cane. It's like oil. It's like Indians and Africans who hate each other. It's like Indians and Africans who love each other. It's like an African mother telling her daughter, your father go roll in the grave if you bring home a coolie. It's like an Indian father telling his children, do not play with niggers. It's not that funny. It's not that funny. It's like giving power to things that don't make sense. It's like cultural menaces who become cultural ambassadors. It's like voting for change and not getting it. It's like black people who listen to black music sung by white people and find hope. It's like young men who shop for jeans in single-digit sizes in female clothing stores. It's like young women who hate men and call themselves feminist. It's like black families who leave black neighborhoods to move into milky white neighborhoods and call it black progress. It's like saying silly things like, I'm not racist, I voted for the People's Partnership. I'm not racist, I supported Barack Obama. It's like being locked up for using obscene language and going free for racism. It's like Caribbean people who leave Caribbean places to look after other people's children. It's like Caribbean people who live in basements with rats in New York. It's like people who say, I don't drink alcohol, I only drink wine. It's like Muslims who eat pork. It's like Hindus who believe that hamburgers are made with pork. It's like Christians who believe that all other religions are going to hell. It's like watching Project Runway and loving it. It's like Chinese people who own Chinese groceries, restaurants and casinos, who only buy Chinese goods, eat Chinese food and gamble Chinese money. It's like seeing a Chinese eat a doubles. Never. Respect it, Brendon. Respect it. It's like men who beat women and call it leadership. It's like women who wear nothing and call it freedom. It's like saying the best things in life are free. Nothing is free. Nothing is free. It's like standing up for this cause and that cause and fighting for this struggle and that struggle and not knowing who you really are. It's like radio stations that play everything but our music. It's like giving a man $2 million for singing a jingle for an alcohol company. It's like giving another man $2 million for showing up. It's like saying that soca and chutney is the highest manifestation of Trinidadian culture. Have we gone mad? Indeed, we have. It's like going mad. Give thanks. The place start feeling a bit warmer inside here, you know. There's a lot of love, a lot of things I was saying there were not true, right? I mean, clearly. This other poem is really dedicated in some ways to my mother and women in general, I think. I don't know how you would feel about it. Well, there are so many things I do not like, but do not like is a weak phrase when fathers all over Trinidad, not just in the pockets, unzipping zips and making their daughters suck it. It sounds raw, but this is as real as we wish to accept it, because we can't move forward if we don't confront it. A little girl is born today in a middle-class home, but her daddy is not a drunk or a drug addict. His sickness goes beyond this. He's a child molester, a nasty, stinking vampire, rotten to the core, atrophy at its best. But oh God, why some people just take so long to dead? This is the sound of a young heart crying. This is louder than morning traffic, but nobody hears it. Nobody wants to hear this, because mommy too shame, and what your grandmother gonna say? Because women cover up everything, even themselves when told to do so by who? Men. I tell mommy the other day, if daddy talking rubbish and you know it's rubbish, then resist it. It's not 9 months of labor you went through, it's 36, almost one after the next. So even if he try, he can't come wrong you with no, hungry like a dog, so just put food on that table. Only one thing correct about that statement: some men are really dogs. Some men should be shot in the knee and left to bleed because they choose not to be leaders. Instead, they run away from everyday responsibilities like taking out the garbage and cleaning the yard and washing the can, locking the gates and feeding the dog and buying the newspapers and loving their children and loving their outside children and loving their wives and loving their parents and resisting the system and telling the truth and living the dream and waking up to a brighter day and giving hope and working. And if I never said it before, thank you, women. Thank you for giving up your dreams to have me, and thank you for living under pressure so I could break free. Thank you for truth that comes through pain. Thank you for all those years of waiting for me to come home. And thank you for taking insults from drunk men. And thank you for taking licks like a man for things children will never understand. Thank you for making me think we're rich, even though the cupboard's bare. Thank you for knowing when I am in trouble. And thank you for them football gears and cricket gears and gears for all them sports that I never really played. And thank you for teaching me how to walk tall and think big. And thank you for humility and grace and love and peace. And thank you for rubbing bay rum and lime alcohol on my head when fever running it red, and coconut oil, pitch oil and fire to take out humor from under my foot when I get a nail choke. It's not today I going through phases and still you're standing still, making sure you light a candle whether I waking or sleeping. I will never forget when we were young and you had us all four of us sleeping on one bed, always well groomed and powdered up with amens for any occasion. When we had one table for everything and two chairs for people who would come over. When we used to live under granny house and the dust used to rise, but with that dust we also rose. And one fateful day you took a fat line copybook page and sent in a resume for daddy to work in the oil company. They used to call it Trintuck then. And you said a prayer. And the same month I was born, daddy got the work and he went to train. And you made us make it. I watch in retrospect how you turn a boy into a man and then you come and do the same thing for your 3 sons. It's funny how they say women are left out of history, when the truth is women make history every day. In Francisco, Liverpool, Calise, Rudder, Valentino, Ruiz, Caesar, every black man, Pope, Jai, Popo, Minchelman, Warren, Resistance, Riley, Muakil, Amos, Hayes, Lyons, Durante, Carmichael, Dagger, Ella, Williams, Manning, Pandey, Dukaran, Mohammed, Jeffers, Selvon, Capildale, Crawford, Lara, Archibald, Delian, Stedman, Camban, Clark, Pantin, Butler, Robinson, Loveless, Naipaul, Tanker, Honore, Cupid, Rodney, Onilu! And every other person who came out from inside the belly of a woman. We can stand or we can sit, but surely we must admit that women are a breed unto themselves, and that it will take more than 1,000 men to silence one woman, that nothing really compares to a mother's love and nothing should. Don't tell me about ribs and creation. I talking about blood and frustration. I talking about humiliation. I talking about violent discrimination. I am telling you to put your hands together for every woman. Give thanks. Yeah.
Please give a warm welcome to Mrs. Janique Dennis, also one of the poets on the first Synergia Fusion Act at Jazz and Poetry.
I have 2 things to say before I start. One, you like my hat? It was made in Nairobi, Kenya. Which is to remind us that why we're here is because we're raising funds to send spoken word artists to represent Trinidad and Tobago in the International Spoken Word Festival in Nairobi, Kenya. So give yourselves a round of applause for supporting true art and culture in Trinidad and Tobago with your presence. So thank you very much. The second thing I want to say is, now that I have a mic and people listening, thank you, Rachel Collimo. I have heard a number of elders in different fields of art say that we need people who promote and organize and orchestrate so that we, the artists, the musicians, the writers, the painters, can have time to actually create. It's kind of hard to create and organize stuff like this. So Rachel, thank you very much. We appreciate what you are doing on our behalf. Thank you. Father, you alone know. Father, 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 you alone know. Father, Father, you alone know. Father, 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 you alone know. Father, depression hovers, signaling ready enemies to take flight. I press on unaided, praying for Gilead balm, for I am the torchbearer, running with the light. The darkness it putting up a fight. I am the torchbearer, running with the light, pusillanimity bearing hard on my arms, and the darkness putting up a fight. From the distance right here to the outer sight, intellectual pollution beguiles with their charms, attempting to disarm me, running with the light. Father, hey, you alone know. Father, hey, Father, hey, Father, hey, Father, hey, you alone know. Father, hey, Father, hey, you alone know. Father, hey, Father, hey, Father, hey, Father, hey, you alone know. Father, hey, stupidity is the norm. Why seek enlightenment when the greatest guys are the men from the tenements, the bravados, the men out of the ghettos who disseminate filth for a living and become infamous without shame, tying cake, soap, and self-hate to their name? I'm raising this light to a people who seem to have forgotten that they were the first with hieroglyphics, words, music, paintings, and wisdom. Now, they don't want to be healers and protectors. I ask who want to be teachers. No. Out of 33, one considering dentistry and the rest want to sing for a living. But they want to sing tata that they can't explain. They can't write. They can't write the wrongs that they intended to relay. They want to whine for a living. And any that left want to play ball. And I know we need our entertainers for all those nights of frolic and revelry. But we also need somebody to help me, because I am the torchbearer running with the light. This is the piece that was written in the second half of the inquest. So for those of you who don't know the inquest, here's a small summary, like a really tiny one. We write questions, and then we write a piece on the question, and we present it, and then in the middle of the show, we pick somebody else's question and write another piece in like 15 to 20 minutes. So my question was Taddy Boom's question. Big up Taddy Boom in the audience. Taddy Boom! Which was, are you gay? Yeah, we write some kind of questions in the inquest. Seriously. You're gay? So this is my response to are you gay? Connotation. The attachment of meanings unintended at the inception of the creation of the word. The opposite of denotation. Connotations are dangerous, like enemies masked in smiles, misleading information garbed in facts, feckless pursuits, pleasant traps. Perception can be led like a bird with bread, like avarice with money, like men with women's honey. Perception can be distorted, like the PA at the airport, like the radio driving south like a child's mind. Gay's denotation is happiness, joy, a child's laughter, childlike behavior. The associated moving picture would be a young skipping boy, instead of one that trudges along, head down, kicking pebbles. But that connotation has distorted perceptions. This skipping child must be reined like a gelding, castrated, never to be a stallion, for fear that his natural curiosity about his sister's wear, his mother's makeup, nails, and hair may lead to him bending over in an inopportune time. So we twist his mind to believe that sensitivity is a sin, and his femininity within is something to be killed. Nevertheless, the resulting emptiness in his yin-yang is now an international chasm, and society complains that men are callous. Point those fingers in. Blame us, because big boys don't cry. Don't you dare ask why. Suck it in. Man up. So when his hurts bubbling beneath his hardened crust erupt in fisticuffs, tree lines, and nines, we define sources. Fathers, divorces from offspring, poor mothering, deficiency in education, video games infiltration, and of course the importation of culture, which is simply a vulture feeding on a carcass, because there is no mainstream culture from us. And nature doesn't allow a vacuum. So in steps their tunes and rituals, coping mechanisms and culture of mistrust. Look at us. I am a warrior by nature. They say it must be the absent father. Since when is a warrior woman a problem? The Hausa warrior queen, Amina Zauzau, Ya Ashantewa, the Ashanti queen, just name two. Our history tells me and you that warrior women were not few, and when you see Senegalese men whine, Trini women would have a hard time keeping up, and no one could insinuate less about their masculine prowess. Gayness now is so much less. A small word for homosexuality. Connotation made a mess of the imagery and of pure bliss. A true society could decide how to handle that awry curiosity turned ideology turned lifestyle. I am gay denotatively. I skip and jump and clap and ululate when I am happy. I know my inner child. She and I sit side by side with our children and color and determine our future together. I protect them from forced untruths at every bend, and so should you. Say you will with me. Leave questions like that intended herein for policymakers and adult society, and let our children be gay as many times as they can each day. Sing and dance with them, and abandon adult problems with perceptions around them. Say you will with me. Let our children be gay, denotatively, and let their imagination play out opportunities, and let them play. Let them cry. Just let them. And ever so often, let us be like them with them, and bring joy to our mind escape. Escape the drudgery of economy and sexuality. I am gay denotatively whenever I want to be. Are you woman enough to do so with me? Are you man enough to do so with me? Are you? Are you capable of gay?
Make them stop, she said. They're everywhere. In every city, every house, every room, they're all inside me. I can hear them all, and they're saying nothing. On her knees in tears, she pleads for them to just get up, already unable to filter her emotions. She witnesses a world of victims. From the unbound greed of those who govern and the need to quell resistance, a girl witnesses the death of a civilization and the birth of a breed of lawless animal forced to survive in the most inhuman of ways. And as she speaks, she damages the calm of a purposely dead earth. And hers mirrors my own. Seeing my own dead earth through her innocent eyes, I ask, who are the lawless? Who are the animalistic? Who are the reavers? Seeing my own dead earth through her innocent eyes, I begin to sound like her. So in close to her native tongue, I say, run, see the shang, the ching, the root, so merciful God, please take me away. God, if you're there and you still answer human prayers, please take me to a place where I can't hear the mayday, see the mayhem, or speak even though no one's alive to listen. The bodies of the formerly living are everywhere. In every city, in every house, in every room, in every church and school, on our TVs and radios, with the cries of billions in stereo, hoping that someone out there will listen. They're all inside me. Stories of their every fiber being devoured, sending tormenting signals to my brain until I know them. I can hear those who died here. I can hear them all, and they're saying nothing. Wo Shang, Mayor, may Shin be ensured to. I will close my ears and my heart, and I will be like a stone. My first most human response to seeing so much suffering is to leave it outside myself. So I will close my ears to the newly suffering screams, close my heart to what I may soon see, and be like a stone. Cold, solid, immovable. Dear God, make me a stone. A pillar of strength, not like the sinking sand of my dear heart, but I'm begging for brain-dead souls to get up. Get up! Please, get up. Run, see the Shangdi, Ching, Dai root, so merciful God, please take me away. Wo Shang, Mayor, may Shin be ensured to. I will close my ears and my heart, and I will be like a stone. Dear God, make me a stone. You can only put so much faith in a goddess who doesn't know what she is the deity of. Only so much love goes out at any one time to the girl you shower with your gaze, only for her to retort, "Here, this is my heart. Surely you wanted to break it from the very start, so let's get on with it quick." Every human being has this moment, right? That split second between lukewarm and boiling point, when the kettle opens its jaw and starts to scream, "I am in misery. Is there anyone who can comfort me?" 'Cause I remember the vague jokes my friend plays. Created the rank of the epitome of the star-crossed lover, Tabanka man, whose cape was made of letters from Romeo to Juliet, whose insignia was a small candy glass box over his chest. In case of emergency, break my heart. I remember in April I gave her 31 poems. I remember the July night her best friend would leave her if we did not break up, and telling her she's smart, and telling her she's funny, and why don't you explain it to me like you used to, and I haven't seen you smile anymore. I remember feeling like she didn't want me, feeling like a cuckold in my mind, I might as well consummate that idea. Keeping my heart clean for someone nagging about imaginary infidelity spots. So I might as well get dirty. Spend late nights with other girls and get flirty. It doesn't matter how much your lies hurt me, I can't see other ladies the way I see. So, you. This seesaw of you, fine until a girl passes by and smiles, then surely I've become a cheat. Every friend paying me dividends, providing benefits. She says she knows she's overreacting, but she can't stop now. She's